Hello and welcome back to Energy Scout News and Information. I'm Red Byers. Crude oil suffered its biggest one-day drop in 7 years recently as Congress wrangled over a plan to bail out the troubled financial sector. Dow Jones plunged 777 points when the House rejected the first plan. That's the sharpest drop ever for a single day. Oil, however, did rise slightly on Tuesday, but some analysts say the price could continue to slide, reaching $80 a barrel within the next 6 months. If Congress does manage to pass a bailout plan, OPEC says it would have a positive effect on crude oil demand. Mohammad Ali Khatib, Iran's OPEC governor, said a recent rise in prices should also help spur international investments in the energy industry. And in other news, IEA Executive Director Nobuo Tanaka says global oil production capacity will be insufficient within 6 years. Capacity will improve over the next 2 years, but he described the situation after 2013 as somewhat worrisome and that there is not enough capacity, which would need to see more expansion. Still to come, getting energy out of steamed garbage, but first, let's take a look at today's mergers and acquisitions. Deepwell Energy Services has acquired 50% interest in Palco Energy Limited for $5.3 million. Border Petroleum Incorporated closed on its $1.3 million deal with Royal Quest Resources for petroleum and natural gas properties in Alberta, and EDF Trading plans to buy Eagle Energy Partners, one from bankrupt Lehman Brothers Holdings Incorporated. Dropping oil prices could affect production in Canada's oil sands. ONGC has expressed interest in buying assets in Alberta, but Chairman R.S. Sharma said if prices drop too far, the project wouldn't be economically feasible due to costs associated with regulations and production. And in hurricane news, the Minerals Management Service says personnel are still evacuated from 111 platforms after Ike hammered the Gulf of Mexico. Just under the half of the Gulf's daily production of 1.3 million barrels of oil and 7 billion cubic feet of gas remains shut in. Rigs and refineries aren't the only ones suffering from the hurricanes this season. Halliburton said the impact from Gustav and Ike will likely cut into its third quarter earnings by about $80 million. And now for a quick review of today's People on the Move. Douglas W. Fair has joined Black Elk Energy as Chief Operating Officer. William Bill Keenan has been named Gulf Coast Vice President of Night Fishing Services. And Victory Energy Corporation has removed Rick May from the Board of Directors and is currently looking for a replacement. Both houses of Congress have agreed to let the ban on offshore drilling pass. Now, the Senate recently approved a $634 billion spending bill that lifts the ban. The measure leaves the eastern Gulf of Mexico off limits, but the government could start offering leases in some Atlantic federal waters as early as 2011. That's certainly good news for companies that offer remotely operated underwater vehicle operations. The oil and gas industry is likely to spend $1.6 billion on ROVs this year. Douglas Westwood said the market is set to reach $2.4 billion by 2012. In addition, lead analyst Lucy Miller said both offshore utilization and ROV day rates have increased dramatically over the past 5 years and stand at an all-time high. And on the alternative energy front, California's Salinas Valley Solid Waste Authority is running a prototype plant that researchers hope will turn trash into electricity for fuel for cars using an autoclave system. Now, it's a rotating pressurized vessel that looks like a cement mixer invented by green technology entrepreneur Joseph Anderson. It's packed with garbage and tumbled at heated by steam to 270 degrees. The process uses low-quality water and takes about an hour. It produces a sterilized organic pulp that is separated from unwanted debris. A full-scale commercial plant would cost roughly $30 million. For more information on these stories and more, check out the news section on our site. And if you have any news to share from around the energy industry, you can email us at news@energyscout.com. And as always, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.